Just a rainy Monday flap session. Good afternoon, YouTube. Here with you on a Monday at 1:44 now in the afternoon. Back here in my easy chair again. Yes, that's what I'm doing. Not doing much else. Um, I what I did this morning was to pick up my groceries from Walmart. Um, they had a time on when you do a grocery order. They give you time choices of hours between 8 and 9, 9 and 10. You know that stuff. And then they'll also put a little plaque on there if it's less busy during that time period. They encourage people to get their groceries in. So that was the one that said less busy. So I went ahead and did that. Got those picked up, put in the refrigerator, whatever they need to be done, cupboard, whatever. All that stuff done. So I thought I would take a minute, and I know I've covered this to death and back, but I'm back on this. You can see it there. That's the music player. Uh, the reason I wanted to go over is I found some more interesting things about this. For the music player, I did find an option to shuffle the tracks on there, which is a good option to have. And I have went back in and reformatted I didn't reformat it, but I put new music into the music folder, and basically now it's all individual files instead of being in folders, which is a good way to do it, I think. So anyway, that's working. That's one thing I found. Another thing is the when you go to the GPS. Let me see if I can get there. There we go. See if you can see it. Down there in the corner, I think right here, you see it says mile per hour. I got the speed function working. It's just a matter of searching in the more and in the settings and things like that, and then you finally find it. And in addition, I also found out how to change the voice to a U.S. female. And I think Amy is her name now, so she will be giving me directions from now on. Nothing against the British chick, but I think she was getting tired of me not going her way and doing what she said. So I did get that fixed, and I think that's going to be a good addition to this. I'm really starting to like this even more. I'm going to be mounting it a little bit different than I have in the car in the past. Instead of putting it by the mirror, I'm going to put it over on the other side by the extreme. It would be my left of the car, and up at the top of the windshield. It's not in the way there, and I can see and hear it. I believe I can see it and hear it there better than I could where it was at because of the darkness up there. It's a little darker up there than it would be on the center of the windshield. So I think I'm going to do that, and I think that'd be a good idea. I see where. Let me go back to this menu here. No, yeah, back to the menu. Or music. See if it comes back up to where it left. Yeah, it comes back up. So that's nice. Yeah, it's working good. I like that. I watched a few videos on this. There's been several videos. They must have given out a lot of these for review, because about everyone I watched said that they received it, for review. And like I said, it's kind of nice. I like it. Like it a lot. So let me put that to the side here a second. Like I said, I think that Sal has taken my order as far as charging the PayPal, or received it, or however that works. I don't know how that works, but it shows up on my statement now. And so I guess that it goes automatically, does it? I don't know. I don't know really know how PayPal works, but you know, I know I sent him the money. So, um, so that's that. You know, there's a couple other things. Let's see, that's coming here hopefully for long. I did get I went through the wires that I got, and some of the other things I got from Sal, besides the wire that I told you about and the capacitors. Um, yeah, capacitors. I got those. I think there were 6.8. Two of those. Well, I mean, I got 10 of them, but to put together to make the 3.4 non-polarized. So yeah, I got that coming, and I think there was another couple others I ordered as well that I can't remember exactly what it was. But I did order a new fuse holder also. When I bought those 5 by 20 millimeter fuses, those 3 amp, they don't fit that standard fuse holder, and I'm gonna go. I bought a new fuse holder. He wanted 75 cents for one to fit that size of fuse, so I bought one of those too, and that way I can just change the fuse holder. I got 5 fuses, and that'll work just fine. And that's one thing. Like I said, there was a couple other things I bought, and I can't remember. I think that's probably why it's taking him a while to get the order together, because there are several things I bought off of his website there. So I'm hoping that will get here before long. I can get that wrapped up. You know, I was planning on doing a demonstration of the simplified alignment procedure using the 970, and that was my plan all along, and I was hoping that by the time I did the little rant and did all that stuff like that, I'm calling that a mini rant, by the way, just for, you know, just for your edification, I guess. But anyway, I'm doing that, and I was hoping to get that done, but you know, it's not a big deal. I can do it when it comes in and get it all done. But that's that. I was trying to help Jack, Vintage Electronics Geek, work on his tape deck. Let's see, it was a TC355, I think, Sony. I believe that was what it was. I thought that, you know, I looked at his capstan, and it looked to me like there was had a hole on top to where you could screw a screw in there and put a different sleeve on that. There are some Sony tape recorders that do that, and that will change the speed a little bit. It'll make it a little faster. But I'm not really sure that's the case, because every one I've seen since then does not have that on there. So apparently, you know, that's just one of those. It's just the way it was designed and made. Mine doesn't have that feature at all. It just has a solid thing on top. There's no hole in it, and you know, so I don't know. Whatever the case is, I know that would make up a little bit of speed difference. I don't know if it would cure his problem or not, but you know, that's just one thing I was thinking about. It also got me to, you know, I've got this sitting over here on my new shelf just to it's not working obviously, but it's there, and I want to see how it would look, number one, and man, it's going to look good if I could get it fixed. So that's kind of calling my name now too, and I want to get back to that. I left off with it playing. It seemed to play fine on one channel, and I don't really know if the tape was just mono or not, because I can't. I'm having difficulties recording to it, and you know, once I record, then I'll find out if it's, you know, if it plays on both channels or not, because I'll be able to record on both channels. But anyway, that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm thinking about working on that again next, maybe. I know I switch gears a lot, but you know, I really wanted to get that done and finish up this whole project in here on the stereo. I still haven't actually hooked it up, and I want to get all this done and get it hooked up and get it playing again. And I want to do a demo of it then too when I get it playing. I'll have to find some music that won't kill me on copyrights, but it's not hard to find. So we'll do that. Watching Bill's video today. I had planned, you guys may recall the high voltage DC power supply that I was working on. I think that would work, but at the same time, I don't know that it's going to give me the kind of amperage that I'm looking for. And I really wanted a variable supply like my Variac is, my dual DC power supply. I wanted something like that, but I can't obviously do both at the same time. If I use the Variac I've got for AC and use that for the filament voltages, if I need to power several tubes, the circuit, then you can't use the DC because it's going to be set to whatever that Variac is on. So I thought about, a lot, and Bill mentioned one day that he was going to, some time ago, that he was wanted to build a power supply like that using a Variac, and I thought, well, that would be the way to do it. So I have gotten, I haven't got it yet, but I've got a bid in on a Variac now that will fill that need for me. It puts out 2.5 amps, and it's small enough that I can put it over to the side, and it will basically fit on the other side of the bench from across from the other Variac that I have, the big one. And this will just be for DC. And I think probably what I will do is redo the dual DC panel there on the bench. I'm trying to get this all done and still fit it all into the same spot. So that's what I'm working on, and I think if I do this, and I can have my DC right there at the front of the bench, just like I have the AC, and I think that would be a lot handier than having it off to the side. Now the control, again, the Variac control will be on the left side of the bench, whereas my other Variac is on the right side, and that keeps them separate, and it will work everything just right. And there is enough room there, I think, with the small Variac to fit everything in there into that space. And then even if it does require me to cut out part of that backboard, I can do that and still have everything there that I need. So I'm really kind of wanting to do it that way. I think that's the way to do it. That just leaves my my need for filament voltage, and I'm thinking about doing, as Bill talked about, a separate filament transformer, something that's capable of providing enough amperage to power, a full radio full of tubes. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at. So that's some of the things I'm thinking about working on, and my mind up here is working on. I still didn't go down to the place to get the plate lunch that I was wanting to get. I did notice they had it advertised again this morning. It must be a Monday through Friday kind of thing, because I don't see them put that up on the weekends. So they do have, seems like they have meatloaf about every day, so I think I'd be safe going any day. Now it's a rainy day out there today, and I didn't really want to go. It's not all that cold, but I really would rather go on a nice sunny day and have a nice trip. I've got the GPS all set up, ready to go on to guide me down there. I know how to get there, but I thought I'd play around with the GPS. I enjoy playing around with it, if nothing else. That's my biggest thing. And if I do go somewhere, it will come in handy, for that. And one of the next things I want to do is program Bob's address in there, because, as you guys may recall, I am really planning on going in March, probably around the third week of May. I'm sorry. Around the third week of May is when I'm planning on going. So, that's going to be about the time that I think I'll have enough money to do it, and so that's that's probably what I'll do. I went out to my daughter's house. Let's see, it would have been Saturday evening, I believe. I'm trying to think. Pretty sure it was Saturday evening, play cards, and I had a good time doing that. And I noticed on my car that the check engine light was on, and it stayed on all the way out there and all the way back. And I noticed when I went down and picked my groceries up a little while ago, it was not on anymore. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. When I first got that car, it was on, and it seemed like as I drove it more and more and more, the light went off and didn't come back on. Well, I just figured, it was from sitting there, in the dealer's lot, that it caused that problem, or whatever it was doing. And I just thought maybe that was it. And it seems like the same thing does happen if it sits there for a while. If I don't drive it for a couple, 3 weeks or something like that, it will come back on. But now this, I had just gotten back from visiting mom on Thursday, so it wasn't that. Couldn't have been, because like I said, I did a lot of highway driving on that, and it should not have. But again, like I said, it must have been something that happened just right then, because it only stayed on going out to my daughter's and coming back. So, and it's not on now. So I'm a little bit leery of that sometimes, and I want to make sure all that's done. I've got that. I think I showed you the little Bluetooth dongle that I got to plug in for the OBD2 codes reader, and it goes with your app on your phone. You can read the codes on there, and I want to do that before I make that trip for sure. And I want to make sure there's no pending codes or whatever they have, things like that. But, that's either here or there or whatever. I don't know. Let's see, what else was there? Something else I wanted to say. I was gonna ready to talk to. What was it? What was that? Now I can't remember. I hate when I do that. Let's see. I talked about. Oh, I know what it was. My daughter also informed me that. She didn't really inform me, but she was reminding me of the fact that we're going to vacation this summer in July probably, and that if I want to pay for my own cabin, which I try to help them out a little bit, and like I said, it's around $300 for I think 3 nights or whatever, $100 a night. But so I've got to save up for that after I do the Bob trip. Kind of hoping maybe I'll have a little left over from Bob's trip. I planned on having enough to have a cushion. I don't want to be there and not have enough money to get back home. That wouldn't be good. I don't think Bob would like me moving in with him. But anyway, like I say, that's coming up too. So I'm going to try this year to have do some actual video. I think last year I had the sunglasses camera, and I didn't really get much video out of that because of the way they were made. They were cheap glasses, whatever, and they just didn't work very well. So I don't know if I'll get another one of the camera glasses, or just another, camcorder or something that I can wear, or something like that. I don't know exactly how I'll do it, but that's usually a pretty good time. It's good to get away and get out of the city and get away from all the hubbub, of the city and stuff like that. So I think that's going to do me. I think that's all I have. I did get my groceries this week. I don't get some weeks I get bare necessities, and I don't get a lot of extra stuff. Like last time I went to the grocery, I got enough for the meatloaf meals and the turkey and dressing meals. I didn't do that this time. I just basically got lunch meat, cheese, bread, things like that, and potato chips, because I like sandwiches and potato chips, and that's good enough for me. But basically just and also got a lot of burritos for breakfast and things like that. So tried to keep it down. I think it was $36 or something like that. Trying to keep that down, and also I have to go back to the doctor on Friday. Now I think the doctor visit on Friday is just blood work, but then the next weekend or the next Friday I'll probably have to go to visit the doctor, and so I kind of like not to be weighing 250 pounds when I get there. So I got to kind of cut back on food, and cut down a little bit on that, because he fusses at me enough for the things that I don't do right, and like exercise. He's always on me about that, and I understand why, but I also understand that I can't get up and walk around and do the things that other people do because of my knees. It hurts too bad. I mean, and it's not good for your knees to put that weight on them all the time. I mean, walking would kill them. I mean, I would be dead. They'd have to put me in the hospital and replace them for sure then. So I'm trying to make them last as long as possible, I guess, and I do a lot of this. But I did get out and get the garbage cans in today. Today was garbage day, trash day, whatever you want to call it. So I got out and did that. I carried my groceries in. That was good. So I'm doing okay. Like I say, it's just trying to get by best you can. You know how that works. So, and then Thursday I'll go see Mom again. And so it's getting a little bit more activity because of the weather's changing. You know, it was 63 I think yesterday here, sunny, nice day. And of course I stayed right here in this chair. I haven't got my summer legs yet, my spring legs or whatever. And like I say, that's the way that works. But I think I have blathered on long enough. Looks like 20 minutes. Jeez, old Pete. I can just sit here and talk all day long, I think. Probably not as good as Bill or George. George did a pretty good job of it the other night. Whew, I tell you what, I wish I could have got it on that live, George, but you know how that works. I just went to bed early that day and missed it. So, all right. Also, I wanted to comment on Greg's camera boom. Now that is a you guys may recall I had something similar, nothing that elaborate as his, but you know, a wooden camera boom that I made out of basically furring strips, and it worked fairly well. I think his would be even better because it would be much more stable than the one I built, and it did work, like I said, to get the camera about anywhere on my bench that I needed it. And I'm really kind of thinking about maybe building one like his out of furring strips instead of using the plywood. You know, the furring strips are pretty cheap, and you know you can find some straight ones, and then you know, like I say, his longest run was what, 3 or 4 feet, something like that. But it was kind of neat the way he did it. I kind of liked it. I was thinking about doing something like that. You know, who knows? I might try it and see. Just a thought, but he did a really excellent job on that, and I just wanted to give him a shout out for that because, like I say, it was an excellent camera boom. So I can't wait to see the footage from that, Greg. So I think that's about it. I know I've said that before. Saying it again. All right, one more thing. I had when I went to end this a while ago, the cursor on my screen was locked up. I couldn't get my keyboard to work. This is the second time that's happened. The only cure for it is to reboot the computer, and I had to go get my little plug-in keyboard, and once I did that, then the cursor moves. So I don't know what that is, but I'm going to have to investigate that a little bit further, I think. So just another thing to add to my little video, so there you go. Alright, see ya. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see ya.